Simplicity. A Simple Love Story, Book 1. Written by Dana Lecheminant. Narrated by Samantha Novak. Chapter 1. Perfection is essential. My mother's mantra always popped into my head at the worst moments, like when I was just about to put the finishing touches on the painting I'd been working on all morning. I blamed the fact she'd gone on a bit of a tirade at breakfast that ended with, "If you're not perfect, Lanna, you're coming up short." That sentence alone had convinced me to get out of the house and blast some music through my headphones to drown her words out. Most of the time, I ignored her little comments, since I had very little chance of ever coming close to her idea of perfection. But this time, I was finding it difficult to get her out of my head, as if she were looking over my shoulder at the easel in front of me. Usually the music worked and distracted me well enough, but I'd given up on that hours ago, so I could just focus on what I was doing. I'd been painting for years, and most days I could accept when something was finished and move on. This particular canvas, however, kept giving me trouble, and I was running out of patience trying to fix something that didn't look broken. The mountainscape was beautiful, really. Probably one of the best scenes I'd painted yet, though nothing close to what real artists could produce. But there was something missing. Maybe another tree? I leaned back a little to get a more distant look, noticing for the first time that rain pounded on the roof of the stables where I'd hidden myself to avoid my mother's constant criticisms of how I was coming up short. She'd been especially bad today and seemed convinced I would either end up alone or a lesbian if I didn't snag myself a husband soon. I suspected that was because Chandler Wixcomb was back in town, and he was one of the few eligible bachelors I hadn't blown my chances with yet. Honestly, I couldn't see why he would still be interested, especially because we didn't even use our stables for horses, which were Chandler's passion. If he knew the only thing in this massive building were a bunch of dusty saddles, and for some reason a broken-down motorcycle, Chandler would probably write me off like the rest of the rich folk and go fall in love with a horse instead of a human.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?